Hi, hello, welcome to Stay Tuned channel. Today we are going to see NCERT grade 10 first flight second unit, A Tiger in the Zoo poem. So this poem explains the situation of the tiger in the zoo, written by Leslie Norris. So this poem has uh, 5 stanza, and it's a short poem which contrasts the situation of a tiger in the jungle versus in the zoo. So the poem describes the physical features of the tiger which is kept in a cage. Then it describes how a tiger's life would have been if he was in the jungle. In the end, the poet once again explains the situation of the tiger in the cage, and he says that life has changed the personality of the tiger. Further, he elaborates that the tiger was a powerful and brave animal in the jungle, and the villagers were terrified by his powers. But now the tiger has been confined into the cage and has turned into a helpless and powerless animal. So let's see the poem. First stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet ridge. So the poet describes the appearance of the tiger in the zoo. He says this: the stripes on the tiger's body are visible from a far distance. These stripes are darker in color than the rest of his body structure. The tiger moves in the cage but can walk only a few steps as the cage is very small. He walks quietly due to its smooth velvet pad. The tiger is full of anger, but he suppresses it due to his helplessness. Second stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. In the second stanza, the poet imagines the life of the tiger in the jungle. He describes the other side of the tiger when he is a free animal. The poet says that in the natural habitat, that is in the dark forest, the tiger would have been lying in the shadow of the tree or hiding in the long grass to prevent other animals from noticing his movements. In this way, he would have reached the water hole where all the animals of the forest come to drink water. When a deer would pass through the water hole, he would attack him and have him as a meal for the day. Third stanza. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. The poet says that the tiger would be groaning at the edge of the forest near the village. The tiger would show his white, long, sharp teeth and long carved nails while moving here and there to scare the villagers. Here, the poet wants to convey that if we destroy the forest, then the tigers will forcibly come out to the towns and villages for their food. Thus, they will become the cause of terror to human beings. Fourth stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. The poet stops imagining the tiger's forest life and returns to the real condition. The poet says that the tiger is locked in a strong cell which is made up of concrete material like cement, brick, rod, etc. He has all the strength and power, but he is still behind bars. The tiger moves slowly and quietly in his cage and pays no attention to the people who are coming to see him. Last stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. The poet says that the tiger does not sleep at night. He hears the sound of the patrolling car. The noise of the patrolling car disturbs the tiger and does not allow him to sleep. He keeps staring at the stars with his brilliant eyes. He gets lost in his thoughts and wonders why he has been imprisoned in the cage. So with that we come to the end of the summary. I hope you liked it. So there is a moral behind this poem, that we should save the tigers. We have very little tigers left in the world, so save the tigers. Keep watching my channel. Bye, take care.